Hi, this is Ken Newell with Stewart-Cooper-Newell Architects. We're glad to be with you today to discuss several of the issues regarding site selection on fire stations. The first item that we want to talk about today is selecting the site. The first thing that firefighters think about in the selection of the site would be response time. That involves things like travel distance, mutual aid response, jurisdictional sharing of services, and that's the things that you guys deal with on a regular basis. But we want to delve further into that, and that is, what do you do after you identify the area that your site needs to occur in? There's several things that need to be paid attention to as you're selecting your site. And the first thing before I go into those that I want to point out is it's always advisable to bring your designer or your architect on board as early as possible, even before you select the site, because the things that we're going to discuss today will be evaluated and give you assistance the architect was able to provide for that. You want to pay a lot of attention also to free land. Free land, I often say, is the most expensive land that you'll ever get, because it's normally not given for free for a good reason. That is always going to provide challenges to you in the way that you address issues that are unfavorable on the site. As you're looking at your site, you want to pay attention to suitability of it. Where is it located, and is it at a suitable location for your response time? Suitability also involves a number of other items, though. That includes the traffic, how you access major thoroughfares, traffic ways, roadways from the site. And so that clear access point and how busy that roadway is, how you access onto that road is important. The other thing to consider would be grading requirements. Is it a site that is extremely sloped to begin with, and will it require a great deal of grading to bring it up to something close to a flat pad that you can use for driveways, building pads, and other things that are there? If you don't do a lot of grading, or if grading is not possible, you may find yourself challenged in building large and expensive retaining walls. The next thing to consider is utility availability, making sure that things like gas, water, sewer, telecom, fiber, all of those things that are necessary to run a modern fire station are accessible, because if they're not brought to the site already, you may bear the expense of bringing those utilities to the site. Subsurface conditions is one of the greatest challenges that you may face. That's what occurs below the dirt line, not above it. So unsuitable soils, high levels of groundwater, rock and stone conditions. There's many things that can impact your cost, which leads you to a geotechnical report that will help you identify early and quickly how much subsurface conditions you may be encountering. Wetlands or floodplains are things to be concerned about as you're selecting sites or considering sites, making sure that it's got a buildable area that you can actually fit into. And we'll finish out with the ability to expand and grow on the site. We know what your station might need to be today, but if it really is a 50 to 75-year building, we want a site that we're able to grow apparatus bays, administrative spaces, and possibly sleep or living spaces for the facility.